All right, so I have some breaking news. So Canelo, as expected, is headed back to the PBC, and it appears that Canelo signed a 3-fight deal with the PBC, which would have a schedule where he would fight in September, starting with Jamal Charlo. Then he would fight again in May, and then once again in September. So, who would be included in that 3-fight deal? Well, we know Jamal Charlo is locked. You might could see him finally face David Benavidez, and then the wild card fight, as I said, and I told you that could be in the mix for Canelo, is possibly a catchweight fight versus Errol Spence. Doesn't surprise me at all that he's headed back to the PBC. At the end of the day, they value Canelo, so they feel like they can make some money off Canelo, and they're going to comply to whatever Canelo asks of them. So Canelo is headed back to the PBC, so now you finna hear a whole bunch of thank you Al Heyman from black dudes. That's the funny part. But I don't pay them no mind. I already know how wishy-washy they are. So I'm just laughing at that. But it is a power move to lock Canelo in for at least 3 fights, to get him to commit to 3 fights. Now, who will be included in those 3 fights for Canelo? Well, it's going to come down to whoever Canelo wants to fight. Because I can promise you, they're not going to tell Canelo who he has to fight and who he, doesn't have to fight. It's going to be who he wants to fight. Because you already know that the PBC has a history, for the most part, to basically catering to a lot of their Hispanic and particularly Mexican fighters, because they feel like the Mexicans are the mass audience of boxing, which is unequivocally false. But whatever. So, I don't have a problem with this. I'm just going to have a problem with whoever Canelo picks as an opponent selection. But like I said, Charlo is confirmed. It's confirmed, which, like I said, I don't like that fight. And even Eddie Hearn said that Charlo wasn't going to be ready. So, which means, in all likelihood, Canelo has definitely been saved from Dimitri Bivol, of getting whooped on a second time by Dimitri Bivol. So now Dimitri Bivol is you're gonna have to put pressure on him to basically give us the other fight that we're clamoring for, which is Undisputed versus Arthur Beterbiev. It's no excuse for that fight not to be made later on this year. So now Dimitri Bivol has nowhere to go now but to get in the ring with Arthur Beterbiev. No excuses. Can't wait the next time I see Bob Arum. This time I am going to ask for an interview with Bob Arum, and ask, depending on what happens August 19th versus Caleb Smith, how soon can they start negotiations to at least get Arthur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol in December? No reason why that fight can't happen in December. And that would be a great year, Undisputed. And if they want, they can make that fight a mini pay-per-view. They can make that fight like maybe a $50 pay-per-view. I think if you put Shakur Stevenson on the undercard, then yeah, there you have it. So with that being said, can't wait to see who's going to be included in this package for Canelo. But I really think that Errol Spence could be included in this package, depending on what happens July the 29th. Because I've said all along that they always wanted to put Canelo in the ring with Errol Spence. So this would be their best opportunity to make that fight happen. Or Canelo could do a fight-by-fight basis depending on what happens after these next 3 fights. He could do a fight-by-fight basis. And then just come back and do another fight. I think when you look at Canelo is, I think Canelo is 33. And Canelo got over 60 fights in. So you have to ask yourself, how much longer is Canelo gonna do this? And then you've seen glimpses of Canelo is starting to look long in it. So you have to wonder how much is left in Canelo. I know his fans don't want to accept it, and they get mad whenever you just critique Canelo, and they come on here talking shit like you supposed to be scared, like you gonna change your mind because somebody on the internet upset because you saying something that they don't like or agree with. It's not gonna change my opinion. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say. And as I said before, there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So I am curious to see who's going to be included in this package deal with Canelo. And based off the fact that Canelo is inked a deal with the PBC, that means it's more than likely that he will be attending the big fight July 29th. So that's real. And I was laughing at the fact that Canelo tried to, save face by saying that 2 years ago Badu Jack would fight him at at 180. Well, that was 2 years ago. Okay. Like the saying goes, yesterday's prices ain't today's prices. Last week a pack of steak, a 2-pack of steak, depending on the quality of the steak, was $5. Now it's $7. So there you have it. But like I said before, I'm interested in seeing how this is going to unfold. We'll talk about it later. I'm going to take a intermission, and of course I will be back to discuss the Warriors already giving up Jordan Poole. And I'm going to be quite frank with you, don't have a problem with the trade. Now, I question the trade based off Chris Paul, but I'll break that down, what could possibly be in store and what the Warriors have planned. So give me like 10 minutes, gonna make a quick phone call, and I will be right